Let's do this. I'm just trying to have a clean workspace before I get started, my friend. You can time me to tell me how long it takes to peel these carrots because when I feel lazy and I'm like, oh, I want to do the work, you realize that the work is not much work at all. In fact, this is probably like an extra 60 seconds to peel these carrots, right? Um, and I have to say, my son Charlie was just here for 24 hours and he has started cooking so much. It just makes my day. It lights me up that he's having so much fun with it. And so even yesterday when I was like, I don't feel like cooking, he was here to help me. And then suddenly it was fun again. And especially when people request things that they want from me, right? Like that I find fun. Okay. So we're also writing a recipe as we go, you guys, because if this is good, then yay us. I wish I had some feta left. I don't think I do, but feta would be great with these vegetables too. Okay, let's just get rid of our little carrot peels. Straight into the compost. Okay. And then I'm going to wipe this cutting board off because you don't want things slip sliding away, right? And then let me get a bowl because I'm going to toss the broccoli with the carrots and, and a little bit of oil. Spices, okay? Hi, everyone. How are we tonight? You guys see what I'm doing? It helps if I move that thick piece of broccoli out of the way, huh? So I'm cutting the tops off well because they're actually muddy, which means they've been in the earth recently. And all of the goodness has not been scrubbed off them, as can so often happen when you're shopping for ingredients in like kind of basic grocers, right? So you guys know I'm always preaching that you need stable vegetables so they don't roll out of your hand. I should make this one more stable because this one actually already is. Can you see how it's flat right there? So watch this. I put it there. It's stable. I don't have to worry about it rolling. There we go. Ta-da. Is that great? Okay. Pretty fun, huh? Okay, a little more. This one's stable too. So the thing that always shocked me is how when you cook off this many vegetables, how much they kind of like shrink up and take up less space. So the broccoli is going to do the same thing. This seems like a ton, but when you see what it cooks to, you're going to be like, wait a second, where did all of that food go? So we're going to just mess around with that. And I'll show you where all that food goes. So this will be a huge tray of vegetables, and it's going to feel like everything on there is crowded. And then when it comes out of the oven, not so much. Okay. Into the compost those go. I'm going to put these carrots directly into this mixing bowl. Okay. And I'm going to cook the carrots and the broccoli for the same amount of time. So I'm going to combine them here and get them in the oven while we mess around with the other ingredients. While we're doing this, actually, I'll talk about my retreat after I cut the broccoli because I just want to show you what I'm doing. Okay. So, hello, meet a bunch of broccoli on its stalks. I'm laughing because my dad used to tell broccoli family stories. So it was our bedtime stories, but instead of being humans, we were big broccoli, daddy broccoli, mommy broccoli, big sister broccoli, little sister broccoli. And so this is making me smile. Anyhow, here's what you can do. A lot of this stock is delicious. And in fact, they've already cut a lot of it, right? So I eat a lot of this, but I'm going to cut the florets. I'm going to cut them like this. So I'm going to get the top parts off, the florets, and then I'm going to cut the stems more and I'm going to put those on the pan to roast as well. Okay. So we're starting with these cute little florets, but wait until you see what I do next, folks. Do, do, do. Okay. You guys, I can't stop singing the song has anybody seen the movie Voicemails for Isabel on Netflix yet that was filmed here in beautiful San Francisco with Zoe Deutsch and what's the actor's name? Nicholas something, I think. It's such a sweet movie. And it made me just be so happy that I live here. But there's a song in there of Robin dancing on my own, and I cannot stop singing it. It's just basically on repeat in my head right now, which is not a bad thing. Okay, can you see how much I cut down on this? That's probably so. But look, I got a ton of those pieces of the stalks too. They're going to be delicious. Okay. So trust me. Trust, as the kids say. Let me just do this. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little bit of oil and I'm going to toss them with salt, oil. Let's just put the salt on right now so I don't forget. Okay. Ta-da. I'm going to put fennel seed on because I am an absolute creature of habit. And I think my body craves it in some strange way. I think I just want fennel seed on it tonight. A lot of times I'd put oregano and chili flake on it too, but not tonight. That's enough. That was probably like a teaspoon. And then, much to everyone's chagrin, I feel like I have to out myself. I should be using olive oil or coconut oil, which I could melt down. I'm not going to do it right now. This is sunflower oil. This is basically like I got screamed at by my children for having this in the house. Organic high oleic sunflower oil. I kind of did it on purpose because I want to do my homework on this seed oil in particular. And, the people have gone bonkers about seed oils, that they're horrible for us. Yes, a lot of them are not good for us. Okay. But sometimes I think we lean so heavily into something. There's like a lot of gray area that we don't bother discussing. And I feel like one or two people said seed oils are bad. And we've just like completely gone off our rockers. Like, I'd rather have a teaspoon of seed oil on my vegetables than drink a shot of tequila, right? For my health. So, or eat sugar, right? Eat a ton of sugar. So my kids would die. It's a good thing they're not here because they don't have to eat it. I'm just going to dump these guys on the sheet pan and look at. They've got a little room. I want them to have room so air can circulate. Okay. In they go at 420. That's funny. 420. I'm going to set them for 15 minutes and then stir. Let me get a little bit of water if you don't mind. Excuse me. And then we'll move on to getting the pork chop in the oven, which I'm going to do in the most basic way. And it's just going to be a fun experiment. Because normally I would sear a pork chop first just to get a really nice crust on it. I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to cook it off because I defrosted it. And I do not want it to go bad because it is such a beautiful piece of pork. Okay. That being said, I want to make sure that the pork is not touching the board that I'm using for the rest of my vegetables. Okay. We're going to just move this over and keep this whole situation separate. And we're going to use this to build the salad that's going to go with the pork chop. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to open this over the sink with a little bit of water and my scissors. I just want to make sure that the that the liquid that's in with the pork does not go anywhere else, right? They've been saying that for chicken, you shouldn't rinse it first. I don't know. I think for pork, I'm going to rinse my pork chop. That's just the way it's going to be. And then, I just realized I need to get the pan I'm going to bake it in before I get my hands all. I'm just going to bake it in this, okay? So I'm going to rinse it and then cut it dry. And then dress it with a little bit of oil, salt, not even any pepper. I think that typically, I would add something sweet in a brine for this, like salt and maple, cinnamon, star anise. It'll wash my hands again, so I don't touch all the pork stuff. But tonight, I'm going to keep it so simple. You're going to be shocked. But the best part is if it's a great cut like this is, a really good high quality piece of meat, it's going to taste so good with so little on it. And then it's going to be a beautiful complement, or my salad will be a beautiful complement to the pork chop. Like we're going to kind of mix the flavors together. And I might drizzle a little bit of maple syrup on this, or even make like a maple vinaigrette for the salad. Okay. I'm going to flip it. I just wanted it to get coated in the oil, right? So it doesn't stick to the bottom of this beautiful copper pan that's stainless lined. The smartest thing to do, because there's so much open space around this, would be to just be smart, shall we? I'm going to put an onion. I'm going to quarter an onion, and it will soak up some of the fat from the pork, and it's going to be delicious if I can just find one. I want yellow, guys. I want yellow. Do I? I'm going to use red. I'm going to use some more red for that's my salad. Now that I think about it. Okay. It's just sorry. I'm over here to this side because I'm acting like this is like really bad. It's fine. Let's do this, and then let's do this, and then let's see if I have an apple in the fridge. I'd cut an apple and put it up in here too, just for kicks, right? Why not? I don't have any chicken stock. Otherwise, I would pour a little bit of chicken stock in the bottom of this pan. But I just want to use half of an onion and I'm gonna peel this top layer off because it looks a little yucky. Doesn't look very pretty. Let's just do like slivers this way. They're all gonna kind of like, since the stem's not on, they're kind of is gonna fall apart naturally on their own. This is kind of fun, right? And then let me get an apple if I have one. I have one left. Oh my gosh, you guys, my fridge is a mess. A mess, a mess. And I have no one to blame it on but myself. Okay, let's do this. Just cutting around the core so I don't have to worry about pouring it. Let me cut them in half crosswise too, so that they're a little bit easier to grab. This knife needs sharpening desperately. I'm like having to put pressure on it to cut through it, and that is not a good thing. Yeah, that's not good. In fact, I'll probably switch knives. I love this knife, but I have not kept them in good shape, so that's on me. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let's get this like this. I'm going to just put a little bit more oil on the vegetables. Don't tell my kids. If they watch, then that's on them. I'm going to hi, kids. Yes, I'm using organic high oleic sunflower oil tonight, and I'm pretty sure I'm still going to be okay tomorrow. But no, I don't eat it as a practice. I like olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil. Those are my oil of choice. And it goes. It's going to be at 420 as well, 420 degrees, because that's what the oven is turned on to. I'm going to put this down in the bottom. And it's going to bake longer than the veggies, but I'm all for being efficient. And so I'm not going to turn on the cooktop and fry something like pan sear it tonight. I just don't feel like going to the trouble of making that kind of a mess, right? Okay, so now we're going to have the strawberries. I have basil, I have almonds, I have the broccoli and carrots. And now I'm just thinking, when I went to Camino Alto the other night, it's a fabulous restaurant here in San Francisco, just up the street from me. He does like all clean ingredient cooking. It's phenomenal. And he makes this salad. He just calls it like fancy salad. And it's basically, there was cucumber, plum, what else was in it? Like cashews, maybe? It was delightful. Was there cheese? Maybe. But I'm going to see if there's any feta left. And if not, no worries. But I'm just going to put a little mishmash of everything I got in it, and it's going to be delicious. If I not have any, I guess I do not. I have cashews or almonds. I just more an almond girl tonight. So I'm going to put almonds in mine. And then I'm going to use my favorite little tool for slicing like my mock, my oxo. I was going to call it my moxo, my oxo grate and slice, I think is what it's a great little tool because it works like a mandolin, but is a much safer option. I'm going to take off this layer of the onion on this side too. Looks a little janky. And then I'm going to go for smaller pieces of onion. So I'm going to do it this direction, which I never do. I do it crosswise typically. So I'm being very careful right now, but then I'm going to add the guard. You guys see this? Hi, who's joined us? Debbie. Atty? Atty? Is that how you say her name? I'm just going to do this. This is a much better way to slice an onion with this great guard on it for your hands. Right? Okay, there we go. Do. Now, I'm going to put a little ice in here because it's going to remove a little of the pungency of the onion. Oh, there's nothing vomiting off more than people using my ice cubes without making new ones. Those are those cute little ice cube trays. Somebody robbed me. I'm not going to name names. I'm pretty sure I know which child it was. But they've both been here. Okay. So watch this. I'm just going to put a little water in here. Oops. Excuse me. And then push them around with the ice cubes to make them really cold. And it's just going to make them a little less pungent. Okay. So we're going to let those hang out. Get myself some more water while I'm at it. Okay. And then let's look at what else we have to put in this little fancy salad, as I'm saying. We have almonds, strawberries, basil. And then I think I'll use lemon as the vinaigrette for it. Let's see. I'm going to get some strawberries first and then a bowl to put this in. This is going to be like a cute little salad for one tonight. That looks too small. Let's do this. I'll use my favorite bowl. This is my Hudson Grace salad bowl for one, or I treat it like it's a salad bowl for one. Could probably be a salad bowl for two, but when I'm eating a big salad as my entree, I love to use this bowl. So here we have it. Does anybody do anything to celebrate full moons around here? There are a lot of like rituals and cool things you can do for the strawberry moon. All I know, I don't do astrology. I don't follow astrology well, but I know that this is an important time for like letting go of stuff and that it's a really great time for planting new seeds, literally, and for abundant, great things to start happening for us. On that note, first of all, let's just acknowledge how darling the strawberries are next to my dress. I mean, that's a look. Am I right? But on that note, let's talk about my retreat that is happening in November because tomorrow is the end of the month and I am supposed to let the lodge know how many people maximum I'm having, even though this is in November, right? And so it feels like a long time from now, but it's going to be here before we know it. And we've got a really nice group of people signed up already for Saturday, November 14th. It's going to be from 8:30 to 5 p.m. at Cavallo Point Lodge in Sausalito, California. But the coolest part is that, well, there's so many cool parts, you guys. One of the cool things is that you can stay there if you like. And there is a group rate right now for hotel rooms, which is fantastic. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, amazing. But the day retreat is $625. And that does sound like, to me, that sounds like a pretty expensive day, right? However, what you get for your money is kind of unbelievable. Let's start with the fact that it's being hosted at Cavallo Point, which is just absolutely stunning, stunning location here in the Bay Area, nestled into Sausalito. It used to be a military base and they restored it. And so it's this beautiful lodge. And it looks out directly. It's like you're nestled under the Golden Gate Bridge. It is so beautiful. And you're looking back onto San Francisco. So the location itself is amazing. Plus they have hiking trails and it's just like the most spectacular outdoor space you could ask for. They have an incredible spa. So the property itself, amazing restaurant, all sustainable, local, the whole thing. The space, the property itself is remarkable. But then the talent for the day is remarkable as well. And it includes my friend Josh Connolly, who's coming all the way from England to lead breath work and meditation. Can you believe that? And he's spectacular. And my friend Beverly Jane Petrus, who will be leading the yoga part of things and a sound bath. And it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for you guys to experience all of this. And it will just be a beautiful day. Believe it or not, you'll relax too. There's plenty of time for food and relaxation because the hotel is curating the menu with me and focusing on anti-inflammatory cooking, of course. And I'll be talking about my food philosophy and sharing a sneak peek of some recipes from my new book with all of you. You'll be the first to see it. And what else did I have to add to that? It's just going to be a really special, special day. So today is Tuesday, June 29th. And if you see this before June 30th, you can use the code OFF50, OFF50, when you go check out to register for the retreat, and you'll save $50. Okay. So what I'm going to do after this class is send the link out from this class. And at the bottom of it in the email, I will attach the link to sign up for the retreat if you'd like to join us. Okay. There's a big Q&A on the sign up sheet. So if you have questions about the day, what it will entail, there's not going to be a lot of group sharing. Like, even though we're going to circle up, right, and just share each other's names and really talk about how to come back to your own body during this time of chaos in the world. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to get up and share your experience with somebody else, right? Like, maybe Josh will have us partner a little bit before we start our breath work, maybe to set an intention for yourself. Hi, Paul. Thanks for joining. But, and my guess is that Josh and Beverly Jane and I will probably be sharing some about ourselves, but there's not going to be any pressure for you to be up in front of people doing things that you don't want to do. Okay. It's really, we called it come home to your body for a reason. We want all of you to feel really connected to yourselves and lead feeling like you have a better outlet for finding connection to yourself as well. Does that make sense? And you can find an easier way to get there in terms of like being in the chaos of the world. So we're going to give you some tools. Sound good? Okay, I'm going to check the vegetables. Let's take a look. That was 15 minutes for the veggie. And it 5:27. So the pork chop's only been in there like 10 minutes. These tend to use some more time, but they're taking up less space nicely. But they're still gonna have some crunch and they're like steaming, which is my pet peeve. They're steaming because they were too close together. I want them crispy. In a perfect world, I should have used 2 sheet pans, but I did not. So we'll have to deal with it. And I just saw my pork shell. It's not going to look very brown. It's going to taste good, but it's not going to look very pretty. Okay. Back to the salad. I have strawberries. I have almonds. I have some basil I'm going to put in. I'm going to put the ingredients away because we're done. I have some cucumber. And I want to cut them up in different shapes because I like there to be variety visually too. So we're going to mess around. I would usually use the mandolin again, but I'm just going to do it myself. Do I want to dice this or slice this? Let's just take a look. Slice looks nice, but I have something against seeds and cucumbers. We don't digest them very well. So guess what? They're going to leave. We're kicking them out. Kicking them out. All right. So I just used that spoon. Did you see that? To pull the seeds out. Seeds are mushy and watery, and they don't improve the texture. So we just got rid of them. Isn't that exciting? So now I'm going to cut these ends off, and I'm going to slice them, and I'm going to dice them. Isn't that fun? There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to, because I'm cutting into something soft, this knife works a lot better. But when you're going into a harder skin and your knife is dull, it's pretty darn tricky, guys. That is really nice. Okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to eat all of this. My eyes are bigger than my stomach. So I'm going to stop with a half a cucumber because I'm going to save the other half and make it again tomorrow. And it won't get mushy that way. I'm going to repeat. I put a little salt on there because cucumbers are can be so bland. But the crunch factor is awesome. So we've got the cucumbers for crunch, hydration as well. We've got the almonds. We've got, which have the healthy fats in them. We have strawberries, which are chock full of vitamin C. We're going to have some basil. Then we've got the onions. And I'm just going to take a couple of those right now and dry them off. That's probably all I need. And then we'll make a quick little vinaigrette, which is going to be a very loose arrangement, as we say. These will look really nice since they're a different shape as well, right? So let's sprinkle them in and see how many I want. You don't need a ton of onion, but I'm home alone, so that's a good thing, right? Nobody has to smell my onion breath, and they're going to be delicious. And then they're purple and gorgeous too, right? So, okay, moving on. I've got to empty the rest of that compost. I'm going to put some soap in this dish because I'm building up quite a collection of dishes in the sink. So to help myself out, to help future Amanda out, I'm getting started. Just so that. Well, there's my little yogurt from this morning. That's no good. Real life around here, friends. Okay, here we go. Now, let's talk vinaigrette. I think what I'll do is get my citrus, my my little citrus press. And so I cut it that direction so I can use it that. All I'm going to do is lemon juice, honey, and a little bit of the oil since we're not really into this oil. Let's just squeeze the lemon. This is kind of like a bad looking lemon. It's like getting a little dehydrated. We just want to get every last little bit out of it that we can. That's a lot. And then the honey is going to give it a nice bit of sweetness. I like honey and vinaigrettes for flavor because you don't really taste honey. So if you're not a honey person, it just adds a layer of sweetness, but it doesn't dominate, right? So I like it. You could use maple syrup. You could use a little agave if you wanted, but it just balances out the acid and the pucker of the citrus. Let's add a little salt, even a little pepper. Un peu de poivre, as the French would say. Mm. You know, whisk, 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 and I'll add a little bit of oil. I'm not putting a traditional binder in this, meaning I'm not putting anything in the vinaigrette that will help it emulsify and keep the oil and the vinegar together. Hi, Charlotte. Thanks for joining. So I'm just going to kind of do this. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Normally I do 2 parts oil to 1 part acid. I'm going to go pretty strong in the acid category because we're not excited about my oil choice. And it's got the honey in there to kind of soften it. Mm-hmm. And we want it to taste more like I just squeezed a lemon over these veggies, right? Mm, that's delightful. Super delightful. Hmm. I'm into it, guys. Okay. Now, because we have the time to do this and we're waiting for our other veggies to cook, I want to give them probably 5 more minutes. I'm going to toss this with these ingredients and then we're going to take out the carrots and the broccoli and we'll add them at the end, but they would need to cool a little bit, right? So I'm going to just put these flavors together and check and see what I think of them. Let's get some basil in there. Let me show you again what I just did. Sometimes I take for granted that I know how to do these things. I'm doing what they call chiffonade, which just is a very fancy French term for slicing thinly. But I'm stacking the basil leaves, right? So check it out. Stack, stack, stack. Isn't that cool? And then we're going to roll them up. It smells so amazing. So you roll them up just like a candy cigarette, not like anything else green that people like here in the Bay Area. And I'm going to slice against it. Can you see that? And I'm making sure that my fingers are a little cloth so I don't cut myself. So I have these little strands, and then I'm going to cut crosswise against it to cut them in half. And then look what happens. Isn't that fun? You get a basil snowstorm. Pretty rad, right? I'm going to sprinkle these on. Basil churns pretty quickly, right? So you're going to want to eat this pretty quickly. And if you were going to, like save some of this chopped veggie situation for tomorrow, just don't put the basil in until the next day. Okay. Just add it at the last minute. What did I just come over here for? I think I'm singing that song again. Hi, Sander. What's going on? Again, I would want cheese in this. If I had some feta or goat cheese, I would be very excited. However, tonight I do not have any. So far we have the strawberries in honor of the strawberry moon. Tonight, full moon, we have basil, which mint would be amazing as well. Almonds, cucumber, red onion. That's what we've got so far. And then we're going to add the broccoli. Mm, mm-hmm. Sorry. We're going to add the broccoli and carrots and just call this like a fun salad, right? A vegetable salad. And then served alongside my pork chop that is going to be delicious, but it will not be ready in time. So let's just take another peek at the veggies really fast. I want to see if they're browning or dim browned. They're getting there. The broccoli's getting there. Hmm. I'll give it 2 more minutes and then I'll finish it to let you all go. But in the meantime, I'll just repeat what I said about the retreat. I would absolutely love to have you all in November at Cavallo Point here in the Bay Area. And I'm going to be announcing 2 other retreats. One is very soon. It's August 7th through 9th in Sonoma County in Guerneville, which is going to be super fun. It's a last minute thing, but we're testing something and I am thrilled to be doing it. So more to come on that. And then I'll be making another announcement about one coming soon, which will probably be Kauai. If anybody wants to go to Kauai with me. Again, kind of last minute, September. And then we'll be planning farther in advance. But we're going to do some really fun tests. And I'll explain more when I announce them officially. Okay. It's going to be really flipping fantastic. So anyhow, that's the scoop, friend. That's the scoop. Um, this would be delicious exactly as it is. But I just love the idea of getting so many vegetables in there. Also, you know what else would be great? Lentils, cooked green lentils would be outstanding. Or a grain. quinoa, barley, farro, couscous, anything to kind of like just give it a different texture. But I'm really leaning into the fruit and vegetable situation tonight, and I love it like this. So I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to add the broccoli and the carrots and call it a night. Okay. And then I'm afraid that the pork chop will not be ready by the time I say adieu. Let's just put this out. Let's just bring out the veggies so that I can show you. And now I'm going to actually transfer chop to the top shelf in the oven so it gets a little more color on it. Because it's going to be delicious. It's just not going to have a feel on it. Okay. Let's try to cool these down kind of quickly for the sake of our salad, which means let's take them off this hot pan and use another dish, folks. How many can she use? We'll just have a little tiny one, okay? Hi, Susan. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for joining. I think I already said hi to you, Sandra. But hello, Susan. Thanks for tuning in, hanging with us. I'll just show you guys what I put together here. Let's just let these cool down just a little bit. If you wanted to get them crunchier and crispier, you could certainly let them go. Like sometimes I'll let them go 45 minutes. And I'll stir them so they don't get too dark. But I like my broccoli to get caramelized, right? Just like have a really nice little crispiness to it. So this was premature on my part. Probably close to 30 minutes instead of 40 or 45, right? Do you know what I can do to cool these down a little bit? Put some vinaigrette on them. Ta-da! That'll help. And then I'm going to use my same spoon to toss them because they're my cooties. They're such nice. If you really wanted to pull this down, you could place them on a cookie sheet that is cool, right? And just spread them out and you'll let the steam escape pretty quickly. I'm not that worried about things wilting in here because it'll taste pretty good. But let's just sprinkle a little bit of this in here and then toss it. So I can show you what this finished chopped veggie salad is going to look like with beautiful strawberries in honor of the strawberry moon tonight. And then you're just going to have to picture it next to a gorgeous pork chop. It will be the most amazing side dish. And as you cut the pork chop, you can get a little bite of strawberry with it, onion, all the things, right? I really need to wash some dishes. I'm going to show you what this would look like on its own and use my hands to play it because my hands are my favorite tool in the kitchen, guys. It's just the way it is. I want some strawberry on top, and then I want to drizzle a little bit more of the lemon vinaigrette. Is this stunning or what? Do not say or what. Let's say this is stunning. Look at that beautiful chopped vegetable and strawberry salad in honor of the strawberry moon tonight. I'm so excited to eat this. And I love that I roasted some broccoli and carrots and snuck those in too. I didn't sneak them in. Actually, they are just present. And then I have more of those to enjoy a million different ways. I've got more of the strawberry salad to enjoy as well. But I hope you enjoyed watching me make it. And then I'm going to enjoy it next to my pork chop. It would be equally delicious with a piece of chicken. If you're a vegetarian, tough beans, kidding. If you're a vegetarian, I would actually put cannellini beans in this. That would be absolutely fantastic. I look for more sources of protein and fiber. And then you could certainly use some other legumes. In fact, you could add the lentils. But then also tofu can be so accommodating to different flavors. And so I would probably sear some tofu or saute it in a pan and drizzle lemon juice and maybe a little bit of garlic on it. And it would be perfect, either on the side or mixed into this as well. I would probably just dice the tofu, cook it, let it cool a little bit, and mix it right into the salad. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And I hope you have a delightful evening. I'm going to send you the link to the retreat right now, along with this video. Okay. Everyone have a delightful evening. I'll be back this week with more fun. Talk to you later. Bye.